It is Michael White. How's it going? I hope everything is going well. Um, I can't wait to talk to you about today's topic today. It's pretty much about stop chasing emotional, unavailable people. But before we get started, guys, um, I want to share something with you really quickly, guys and girls. Um, to follow us on all social media platforms, guys. It really helps us in the algorithm to climb up the ranks and get this information out there. So, as you can see, if you type in the name of our podcast, Love and Relationship Podcast, we come up, you click on us, and you can click here to watch the full episodes. It will take you to Linktree. You click on YouTube and you will be able to follow us. So that is super important to help us out and help us in the algorithm to get information out there. So with that being said, I just want to give you guys a quick little recap of what our podcast is about. So our podcast here is to talk about the uncomfortable truths of modern dating and to talk about the uncomfortable things that people might believe in that they don't want to discuss, to help us come together. That's why our symbol is this, is a man hugging a woman, because we want to bring togetherness, right? And the only way for that to happen is for both sides to do the work, right? On learning femininity, masculinity, and honestly debunking a lot of the things that we believed growing up that are holding us back actually from getting the love, respect that we want, either in friendships and relationships, because a lot of times we're the ones holding ourselves back, right? We'll put up walls and barriers to keep the bad ones out, but you also need to understand that sometimes when you put up those walls, it also keeps the good ones out. So we're all about boundaries and putting up walls, but you have to have a strong vetting process on how to let people in, to know who to let in. That's the thing, right? And then with that vetting process gives you two things. Number one, it protects you from the bad people. And then number two, it actually guards your heart, but you're able to let the right ones in and keep the wrong ones out. So I actually wanted to make that statement very clear that there is no bashing of men and women, but we are going to talk about uncomfortable truths on both sides. So today's topic is stop chasing emotional, unavailable people and why we choose them. Um, Honestly, a little bit of a background. I've done this multiple times, guys. I honestly think it's a trigger because we like to move in comfortable circles. So it with an emotional available person, right? We want to try to get them to open up. We want to try to get them to receive the love that we have to give, but they're closed off. Right? They're pretty much closed for business. Like they're like a store, they're closed for business and you're saying, "Hey, open for me." Right? And they don't want to open. So actually, we have a video today that we're actually going to go over, and I think this girl does a fantastic job of breaking it down. Of why do we chase people that are emotionally unavailable, and hopefully you enjoy it. Again, we appreciate her putting this video up. I mean, it's fair use, but we appreciate her, doing what she did because it gives us topics to talk about, and sharing these different things. So, as I said, on our podcast, we're not here to bash anyone. We're not here to put either side down, but we're here to hold each side accountable for certain behaviors and certain things that are holding you back from actually getting what you want. So, let's get ready to play today's video. We're going to do a little recap, and we're actually going to share a little bit of feedback from our end.
Coach. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. So this week we are going to dive into unavailable, emotionally unavailable partners and why we tend to keep attracting these types of people into our life, or perhaps keep attracting the same type of relationship over and over again. Now, like always, before we get into this week's video, if you have not subscribed, please don't forget to click on that subscribe button down below and also click on post notifications. This will actually inform you every time I do upload a new video with a brand new topic. Recently, we have hit 300,000 subscribers on this channel, and I am beyond thankful, excited. I mean, it's a huge accomplishment, and I really have you guys to thank for allowing me to have this platform and do something that I truly love to do. So thank you guys so much. So let's dive into why we attract emotionally unavailable partners. So one thing that we all know, and we've heard it time and time again, you're always going to attract what you're familiar with. So if you grew up in a household where one or two of your caretakers or caregivers or your parents, whoever was around you that had the most influence, if they were emotionally no one's home, then that is just what you are going to be accustomed to. Now, let's go a little bit deeper with this. If you have this huge wound kind of sitting in the back of that subconscious and you have never healed it, then you are always going to look for people to unconsciously try to heal that wound. So this is where we tend to hear mommy issues, daddy issues, things like that, is because those issues from your past are coming into your future and they're causing you to bring these people into your life because that wound wants to heal it so bad, and it's thinking that this person looks so similar to dad or mom in terms of how they make me feel and their ability to be emotionally unavailable, that to have this relationship be a good relationship then will heal that kind of part of me. Now, because you probably had either one or two relationships in your life that were not healthy and someone was emotionally unavailable because you were a child and you didn't know any of this, you are always going to take what you're seeing and what you're getting, and you're going to assume the problem is you. That's just what children do. So because these people were emotionally unavailable, it then created the I'm not enough wound inside of you. Now, the I'm not enough wound is mixed with a ton of things. It's mixed with low self-esteem.
So I want to clear one thing up. She's not calling you a child, but she's saying people have childlike behaviors that when they were younger, the parents were either very withdrawn from the child. So then they think that it's normal behavior to date, like when you're in your dating patterns, to date somebody that is emotionally withdrawn. They think that's normal because they've had a parent that was emotionally withdrawn. So, that's why healing is so important, or dealing with any type of traumas that you may have had, because those traumas, and this is why the past is so important, because your past can show up in your future. And that's what a lot of people don't understand is they'll say, well, my past doesn't matter. It's not who I am. It's what I did a long time ago. I literally tell them this. Because it does matter. Because again, your past shows up in your future. So do remember that. We're going to continue playing the video.
It's mixed with low self-worth. You're never going to feel worthy of a good relationship if you carry this wound inside of you. Now, it is not until you wake up and you become aware of like, okay, I got a daddy issue. Okay, I got a mom issue. Like, okay, I got this wound here. Okay, I've had so much abandonment in my life and I fear intimacy and I don't have an easy time trusting people. Until you are fully aware of all of your wounds. That's why I go into this extensively in my 9-week course. And if you guys have not already taken the course, I will link it down below, because this is really, really big stuff. If you don't know your wounds, then you don't even realize when they're going to show up in your day-to-day life. And that's huge. You're never going to heal. You're never going to get better. Life's never going to change until you recognize that right there. So the next reason why you are attracting emotionally unavailable people is because you don't love yourself. Now, I'm always talking about this either in videos or on Instagram, where I'm always making videos about this type of stuff. And so if you're not following me, you can go check me out right here. I'll link it right here for you. But the reason why this self-love thing is so important, and I know that word kind of gets thrown around a lot lately, love yourself, self-love, but like really go into like a lot of depth as to like what that actually means. What that means is, if I love myself, then I know how to take care of myself emotionally and mentally. If I love myself, then that means that there's no codependency. If I love myself, that means I know where my wounds are, I know where my triggers are, I know how to have positive and healthy self-talk. If I love myself, I know how to parent myself. I know how to soothe myself. So my standard for someone coming into my life will only match where I'm at. So if I come from a lot of wounds, a lot of insecurities, a lot of codependency, a lot of wanting to just people please and be a fixer because I just want love so badly and I don't know how to be healthy by myself because no one ever taught me, you're always going to attract someone that's on that level. Now you might say, okay, well, if I'm on that level, then why do I keep attracting narcissists? Because I'm not someone who's narcissistic. You both are wounded creatures. You're just dealing with opposites, meaning like if you're the unhealthy person who's codependent, you are the giver, and the narcissist is the same thing. It's just they're the taker. And so that's why that relationship just always works so lovely, because the narcissist wants all of what you're giving and you want to give in hopes of getting love, and it's just this endless cycle that you go through time and time again. It's the same thing with emotionally unavailable people. It doesn't mean that they have to be narcissistic, but you're still going to go on a hamster wheel of some dysfunction. And until you recognize all of this and until you start really, really working on yourself, then you're always going to be repeating the same cycles over and over again. Now, again, with someone who is emotionally unavailable, there's going to be a list of things that they do which makes them emotionally unavailable. You know, they're going to ghost you. They're not going to take your relationship seriously. They're not going to be serious about being with you. They're going to be someone who is a little detached emotionally from you, a more surface level relationship. It's also going to be a person that doesn't know how to validate your feelings. So there's not going to be a lot of communication or a real in-depth, getting to know this person. Like I said, everything's pretty much going to be superficial. They are going to be selfish. They're going to want to avoid those hard conversations that you just have to have in a relationship sometimes. They're going to want to avoid conflict. They're not going to be comfortable with being vulnerable with you. Like, as I'm saying all this, I'm thinking back on some of my exes and I'm like, yeah, that was you. That was you. So these are the people that are emotionally unavailable. And if you are not available to yourself, meaning, are you selfish? Are you okay with being vulnerable? Do you avoid conflict as well? And do you get defensive? Like, if you are exuding all of these types of traits in your relationship as well, then that could be a huge reason as to why you are attracting unavailable people as well, because you haven't learned how to fully take responsibility for yourself and fully know how to take care of yourself mentally and emotionally. And that's what we're always talking about on this channel, is how to be able to do that.
Okay, she said a chock full there, guys. And again, we're gonna go over it right now. Pretty much what she's saying is accountability, right? Learning how to be alone and learning how to soothe yourself, learning how to deal with yourself and not needing people to fill a void. Because when you need people to fill a void, now you become dependent on them. And that's when it becomes healthy, because now that childhood wound starts to manifest and starts to grow, and then it causes problems in your relationship that you shouldn't have. So we're going to continue the video here, guys.
How to actually be a healthy person. When you are a healthy person, you will always attract someone who is healthy, because again, that's the standard. If I can do all of this for myself and you can't do any of it as well for me, not that I need you to do it all the time or I crave you to do it all the time, but you should be very much at my level. And if you're not, then this relationship is never going to work. Now, the last reason why you are attracting someone who is emotionally unavailable is, and I'm going to just completely speak to the empaths, the caretakers, the highly sensitive people. You are the type of person that believes in the good in everyone. You want to believe that people are good. You see past everyone's BS and everyone's stuff that they're projecting and all this, drama that they're creating. You see past all of that and you just see at the heart of a person. And while that is a great quality to have, it can get you into a lot of trouble, because just because you can see the beauty in everyone doesn't mean that everyone should be in your life. Now, again, after I say that sentence, if you really love and value yourself, and if you have a good sense of self-worth, while you can see a person for who they are and know, okay, I know that you're just hurting and that's why you're doing this to me, you're still gonna let them go with love, namaste, peace be with you, but you're not going to let them into your inner world because you know they shouldn't be there. They're not at your level, and this isn't about people being beneath you or above you. It has nothing to do with that. It just means I'm in my bubble and I'm healthy and I'm good to go and you're not. And I can't bring you in here until you can fully take responsibility for yourself as well. So how do we not attract this type of person? Number one, work on yourself. So learn how to love yourself, learn how to parent yourself, learn how to self-soothe, learn how to take care of yourself emotionally and mentally. Those are huge things, and I talk about them constantly on this channel in a ton of videos. So I always tell people, if you don't subscribe to this channel, this is free coaching right here. So please subscribe, click down below. But I will say another huge thing is really knowing the signs of someone who's emotionally unavailable. If you have lived in families and had dynamics with parents, etc., and you're very unaware or unconscious, then you're going to just be on autopilot and you're going to be out there living your life, and you're not going to even realize that you're attracting someone who's not right for you. You're just going to attract that person into your life. So if you want to avoid that, you really have to educate yourself. And that's why I always talk about, emotional abuse, and even topics like this of someone who's emotionally unavailable. Like what does that mean? No one teaches us this stuff.
Okay, we got 4 people in here, guys. Please like, share, subscribe the video. And we're going to talk about what she said. You see, what she's saying is stop going off of feelings. See, that's one of the biggest problems. It's I feel, I feel, I feel, I feel. And then you just let everyone in without properly vetting them or checking them or making sure that they are even in a good space to even be in your life. If they are not in a good space to be in your life, don't try to bring them in, because all you're going to do is invite chaos and disruption into your life. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. That's what I really want to put out there. It doesn't mean they're bad. It doesn't mean that they are not prepared to have the certain type of relationship with you on a friendship level or relationship level. They are not prepared for it. So literally, when someone says that they are emotionally unavailable, what they're telling me is that they are going to hurt me indirectly. And it's not going to be their fault, but what they're telling me is I'm going to hurt you because, I haven't healed, I haven't gone through this, I haven't gone through that. They're giving me a clear warning sign that I am totally ignoring, that they are going to hurt me emotionally. So let's continue the video. It's almost done.
No one taught me what emotional abuse was. Like, yeah, okay, I knew what the silent treatment was, and I knew I could kind of sense someone was being passive aggressive, but even that, I wasn't able to spot that until I was like at least into my late 20s. Whereas if we learn this stuff in our early 20s, possibly even our teen years, then my God, I wish I would have known this stuff back then. But anyways, I digress. Just learning what it actually means to be healthy yourself. Again, when you learn how to do all this stuff for yourself, it is very easy for you to spot someone who's not healthy. The last thing, and again, this kind of ties into the whole like love yourself and everything, but this is a huge thing. Do not project what you want to see. Meet people and see people for who they are. Do not try to put someone into a ball or into a category because you're lonely or you want a relationship. What everyone's doing, how everyone's behaving, what everyone's giving you, take it at face value. This is them showing you who they are. So
we're going to stop her right there because she just dropped a gem, guys. And I want you to pay clear attention. So, and I'm going to say this. What she's saying is stop trying to change people to fit your narrative. We've all done it. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm perfect. We've all done it. Stop trying to change people to fit your narrative. And what I mean by that is accept them at face value. Because the thing is, you're trying to make this person that you like or interested in be the person that you want them to be. Like, fulfill that need for you instead of looking at them face value, man. If they're ignoring your text, they're not reciprocative, they're not meeting you in the middle, then they're showing you, instead of you pursuing them even more and putting in more effort and putting in more time and showing more love and putting more energy into it, accept it for what it is. I know that it's really hard to do that sometimes because you're going to sit there and be like, I want them so bad. Like, please. No. Be an adult, be mature, and accept it for what it is. I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but accept it for what it is. And the fact is, that person is not ready for you emotionally. But we're always so busy trying to change other people that the only people that we should be trying to change is ourselves. We shouldn't be trying to change other people. You should change yourself, and then the byproduct is you will meet someone on your level instead of trying to mold this person into who you want them to be. You know how exhausting that is? Trying to make someone into something they're not, you get resistance, you get pushback. And I don't want that. That's tiring for me at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I'm exhausted. I don't want to change someone into who I want them to be. I want someone to come as how I want them to be. So the video's almost done. We're going to wrap it up and then we're going to give our final thoughts.
So don't project who you want them to be. Realize that this is who they are. And the last thing is give a relationship time to develop. So I always say, like, if you're quick to go from 0 to 60, you're going to project. That's just going to be a thing because you want to get into a relationship, you want to get married, you want to have kids, whatever the want is for you, you just want someone around. Because again, you haven't worked on yourself, you're not okay being alone, you come from those fears and insecurities and that lack and all of those kind of things. If you don't let a relationship just naturally progress, then you're going to force it along and you're going to
Okay, and I think her final point is super important too. And look, guys, again, this podcast, we use this platform to educate, right? And even for me, I've been in relationships where I've rushed it. I've been in relationships where I was like, go, 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 because I have an end goal, right? And that's the thing. You have to understand what happens if that person doesn't meet that end goal. What happens if they don't even want to go to the end with you and you're trying to push them there? No, don't rush relationships. Honestly, I've been in them. You get caught up in the lust because we sometimes we have to call things for what they are, right? It's a lustful relationship. You might not like the terminology, but that's what it is. It's a lustful relationship instead of a loving one, right? Everything's moving so quickly, things are not slowed down, and you're moving from 0 to 60. Now, before I continue, guys, go follow Stephanie Lynn, please. It's because of her that we get to talk about these things. So follow us and follow her as well. See, the point of why I talked about this video today is because I know a lot of people that do this. I do this. Sometimes I fall into the cracks and I do that. I will chase an emotional and available person. I've done it. And I take accountability. I probably did it last month. Probably did it this month. But now I'm learning to say, you know what? Take it for what it is. Pay attention to the signs. Take it for what it is. Don't try to paint another fairy tale picture in your mind. Take it for what it is. Accept it. Understand that there's other people out in this world. Stop having one night is for this one person that's not going to give you what you need when you know there's billions of other people that might. So, and pay attention to the signs when this person's openly admitting that they are going to hurt you. They don't mean to hurt you. I need you to understand that. They're not going to hurt you directly, but when a person's emotionally unavailable because of like traumas or things that they've been through or things that they've had happen in their life, they are going to hurt you because those past traumas are going to manifest in the present. And when they manifest in the present, now you have problems in your relationship. So that's what I'm trying to say. If somebody is like that, I won't date them until they're in a better space. You see what I'm saying? So until they can get to that better space, then we'll date or we'll have a friendship or whatever. But if they're not, then I can't be involved with you. You need to stay over there. You need to go do the work. You need to go, you know, be over there, because the thing is, we have to stop trying to prove ourselves to people. I'm a good, because again, that's a childhood wound. I'm good enough. I'm good enough. Please accept me. Please love me. Please give me all the love that I was never given as a child. And then think about this. And again, this is a nice little caveat. You're putting that burden on someone else. And that's not a burden that your partner should have to carry. For them to validate you, for them to feel like I have to fill this person's cup, because if I don't, they're going to break down, they're going to have this. No. You have to think about the burdens that you're putting on other people. I've done this multiple times and it's terrible, guys. You're putting this burden on someone that either A, they don't want to carry, or B, emotionally they know that they can't. And it's not fair for them, for you guys to meet each other, like each other, and then for you to say, hey, deal with all my crap. Or hey, put this here, I'm going to take this burden, put it on you, of you saying, I need you to validate me, I need you to always tell me that I'm good enough, and put this burden on somebody. That is not what love is. And I think we'll probably talk about it on this season of what love truly is. Because as I said, it's not fair. And then you wonder why the relationship crumbles, when you've put this big burden on somebody for them to validate you and make you feel good. You're responsible for your own happiness. They're responsible for theirs. You guys come together and you guys enjoy the company. But other than that, you shouldn't be putting burdens on people. So, with all that being said, look, I appreciate you guys coming in this morning. Please like, share, subscribe to the video. Hopefully it helps you. Hopefully it gets you to think. Hopefully even gets you to healthier spaces. Because that's what we need right now, is to get you to healthier spaces so you can enjoy the friendships and relationships that you deserve. With that being said, guys, have a great day. I'll see you on Wednesday at 7:30 a.m. 7 a.m. And I'm looking forward to our next topic. See you guys soon.